So today we are going to discuss about the evolution of the Earth. How the Earth evolved actually. We already know that the planet Earth, initially it was a rocky area, initially it was a barren and hot object. We already know that. And with this barren, hot as well as the rocky feature, the atmosphere also was very thin and the atmosphere mainly composed of hydrogen helium. This is far from the present condition of the Earth or the present picture of the Earth. The Earth is not like this in the present days. So there must have been some event that occurred in the Earth. Because of those events only or because of those processes only, this change occurred in the Earth. Earlier from the rocky, barren and hot Earth, now the Earth is a beautiful planet with ample of water, with a good atmospheric condition where the life can exist. But earlier at the very beginning, in the initial stage, what was the situation was there? The Earth, in the Earth life can't exist. Now basically in this part, evolution of the Earth, we will read that how in this period between the 4,600 million years and the present, the evolution of the Earth occurred. Because we know already the planet forms almost 4,600 million years ago. Now within this 4,600 million years, how the evolution of the life occurred on the surface of the planet, that we are going to read about in this part. Now, in case of the Earth, we all know that Earth has a layered structure. The outermost part of the Earth is the atmosphere. From the outermost end of the atmosphere to the center of the Earth, that means the core they are saying. The material that is exists in the entire Earth from the atmosphere, hydrosphere or lithosphere, these materials are not uniform. Their density is different. Suppose example, in case of the atmosphere, we know atmosphere having very less density. As well as in case of the interior of the Earth, you will see the density is higher. So according to the density, the different characteristics or these differences occur in the Earth. Layered structure means you all know that there are three layers are present. One is the atmosphere, another one is the hydrosphere and another one is the lithosphere. The outermost layer of the Earth's surface having a thin cover of the air, that is the atmosphere. Hydrosphere means all the water bodies are present in the Earth, that is hydrosphere, and the lithosphere means the crust and the mantle together, it is called the lithosphere. That means the land mass actually we can say. Now here we are going to discuss about the evolution of these three things only: hydrosphere, atmosphere and the lithosphere, and all together it is only called the evolution of the Earth. Now first we are going to discuss about that is the evolution of the lithosphere. That means how this crust, mantle, core, these all things form. We already know that the Earth, the inner surface of the Earth having layers, that is the lithosphere. That in case of the lithosphere, we are having the crust, then we are having the mantle, then we are having the core. Now in case of the lithosphere or the formation of the lithosphere, the scientists told that at the very beginning, when the Earth was formed, the Earth was mostly in a volatile stage. And the period of the stage is given the name by the scientists, that is the primordial stage. In the primordial stage, the Earth was mostly in a volatile state. The meaning of the volatile state is it is in a kind of a liquid state, we can say, which actually easily evaporated at the normal temperature. The volatile state means it is actually can be changed very rapidly. The Earth was in a stage of the volatile state. That means it was almost in a liquid form only, and that can be suddenly evaporate or suddenly change its character. Now the temperature was high on that time of the Earth, because the temperature was very high at that time, as well as gradual increase of the density occurred, because earlier it was in a volatile state, that means in the liquid state, and slowly the density was also increasing. Now due to the increase of the density, it is happened that whatever materials are present inside the Earth's surface, those materials started separated from each other according to the density. Normally, if you will take a bowl and in that bowl you will keep some stones, you will keep some small pebbles, and you will give some sands and all, what you will find? The bigger size stones that will go down, sink down faster, then the more medium size, and at the end the very low size, or at the end the sands will deposit, because we know that the object which is higher in volume or which is higher in density, that will go sink down first. The same thing happened with the Earth's surface, that the heavier material like the iron or nickel, these all sink towards the center of the Earth, and the lighter material, they all are moved towards the surface. Now in case of the heavier material, they are going down inside towards the center of the Earth, and the lighter material, they are present at the outer part of the surface. So what we have seen in the first stage, in the primordial stage, the Earth was mostly in volatile state. It was a liquid and it could be evaporated and all. So due to the gradual increase of the density, temperature was also very high at that time. Now due to the increase of the density at this stage, now the material by which this Earth formed, it started getting separated. The materials which are heavier like iron, nickel and all, those materials are sink towards the center of the Earth, because obviously the heavier thing go down first, and the lighter materials which are present on the Earth, those materials move towards the surface of the Earth. Now with the time, or with the passage of the time, these materials cool down. With the passage of the time, it cooled, and afterwards it became solid. It solidified also and condensed into smaller size. That means it was earlier, it was having very high temperature. Now the temperature started decreasing, and the materials that became solid also, because earlier it was not solid. And with the solidification only, it condensed into smaller size. In this way, the crust, mantle, core, all the things form. In this later, it's lead to development of the outer surface, that is crust. We know about the interior of the Earth. We have already read about the crust, mantle and core. Now the scientists say that during the formation of the moon, last day we discussed about the formation of the moon, the big splat or the giant impact. During this big splat or the giant impact, the Earth again heated up, and by this process only, again the Earth forming material, they got separated into different layers only, starting from the surface of the Earth to the central part. And in this way, the first part is the crust, then it is the mantle, then it is the core, and the density, it is increases towards inside only. The density of the material increases from crust to mantle, from mantle to the core. So this is the process by which your lithosphere formed, or this is the process of the evolution of the lithosphere. This diagram, you all know already this diagram. This is a interior of the Earth one. The central part, this is the outer layer where we are living. This is called the lithosphere. In case of this is actually the crustal portion. The crust and the upper part of the mantle together called the lithosphere. In the crust we are living. After crust we are having the mantle. This is the division of the mantle, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now this is the core, outer core and the inner core. Now you will see that this area is actually made with the lighter material. This area is made with the moderately heavy material, and mostly heavy material like the iron and nickel all are present in this layer. You all already read that the inner core is made with iron and nickel. That's why it is called the nife. So this is the total thing, that how the lithosphere formed.